Hey guys, welcome to part 7 of me breaking down my trip to the Philippines from last year. If you haven't seen the other parts and don't care to, I'm basically just going through all the videos that I took during my 4-week-long trip while providing context, sharing stories, and all of that great stuff. Again, I'll most likely be looking in this direction throughout most of the video because I have an outline on my computer of all the things that I would like to say, so sorry about that. This one might be a little long because I'm literally going to try and squeeze the remainder of my trip into this one video. So yeah, let's just get started. I ended the last video saying how I would be spending the rest of my trip in Cebu, so that is where we are headed to now. I said my goodbyes to my beautiful family, my beautiful Auntie Kara, and my beautiful island of Bohol. Went to the pier feeling both sad and excited, and loaded onto the boat that would then take us to Cebu. After we arrived in Cebu, we went to my cousin's condo, which is where I would be staying, to quickly drop off our things, and then we headed to Ayala, which is a mall where we went to Miss Makuno for dinner. This place is one of those sushi places that had the little train that goes around to bring you your sushi, but we ended up just sitting at one of the tables, which was still a great time regardless. Also, I am obsessed with the decor here. The sushi there was so delicious. We ordered several rolls and they were all amazing, especially this one called a mango cheese roll. And I know it sounds disgusting, but it was literally one of the best rolls I've ever had. After dinner, we walked around a bit and decided to get something sweet to eat or drink because we eventually settled on getting tapioca from Takasi. I totally forgot what I ordered, to be honest. Maybe a taro milk tea because that's my usual because I'm basic, but my drink is brown, so I'm not sure. Either way, I'm sure it was delicious. After that, we took a taxi and did a little bit of walking to get to a place called Mercado. I totally butchered that, but we went there for even more food, and this place is basically one of those places with a bunch of different food stalls. We didn't eat too much as our dinner was pretty filling, but we did end up getting some takoyaki and a mango shake, or my brother did, and I just mooched off of him. We left the marketplace because it was hotter than the devil's asshole in there, and just did a little bit of walking around, looking at the stuff nearby, and then we went home and settled down for the night. The next day was a pretty chill day, at least while the sun was still up. We just ordered some McDonald's and literally didn't step foot out of the condo until nighttime because, if I'm being honest, we were feeling a bit burnt out from the reunion and all of the other events, so we were definitely taking things easy. But at nighttime, we did not take things easy and decided to have karaoke night. We arrived a little bit early and decided to eat there while we waited for our other cousins. It didn't take too long for them to arrive though, and for our room to be ready, so we headed in the room and got the party started. Just a little compilation moment because you already know how it goes. A lot of drinks, a lot of straining of the voice, but a lot of fun. After that, we rode on one of those cool little air-conditioned shuttles to Jollibee where we, ate Jollibee. We then went home, and as you can see, we were more than pooped out from partying, but definitely a night I will remember though. Partying. Partying. Why am I saying that weird? It's partying. Why am I saying partying? Okay, anyways, the next day, or night I should say, we went to this restaurant called Fat Dois. I heard a few of my cousins say Fat Dois, but the French classes I took in high school is making me like 98.3% sure it's Fat Dois. And this place was poppin', yo. We were definitely waiting for a while outside to get in, so we finally got in and got our food, and guys, I'm about to start crying. That's how good the food here was. Of course, like most people, I love everything cheese, but this place definitely took cheese to a whole nother level. Like, I think their slogan is even "In cheese we trust," and I feel that deep in my soul. In cheese we trust, 1000%, yes. And all of this food for like 8 of us was only $50. The best $50 I have ever spent by far. But yeah, that was all we did that day. Literally went home after that and fell into a food coma. The next day was the chillest of all chill days I've had there, which was kind of nice to just bum out and not do anything. The only thing that happened the whole day was that my brother made us all burgers, and then I watched the rest of them play Mobile Legends because that was the thing that was happening at the time. The following day was actually my brother's last day, so we headed to the mall, and the mall we were going to was Seaside, and holy fucking shit, you guys. That mall is massive, like unnecessarily massive. I can't get over it. We did a bit of walking around, went inside, looking at all the stuff that they had there, which was a lot. We also got some waffles as our breakfast, even though it was like 4 p.m. It was still our first meal of the day, so technically breakfast. We walked around the mall a little more, knowing now that we barely scratched the surface of what we could see because again, it was just that massive. We eventually settled on a place called Palitos for my brother's farewell meal, which had typical Filipino food but was of course super delicious. He definitely made the right choice there, and again, all of that food for only $50. As usual, we wanted to get something sweet to eat after dinner, so we went to Coco's for some tapioca. Not what we originally wanted, but still more than satisfying enough. We then left the mall after that to head to our next location, which was another drink establishment kind of thingy, the Coffee Bean, where I ordered yet again more tea to drink. We all just hung out here and spent some time together before my brother had to head to the airport. Once it was time for him to go, we all said our goodbyes, and my cousin and I headed back home, and then there were just 2 of us in the elevator now. The next day was my last day of independence, one could say. Didn't do anything during the daytime, just packed up my stuff really. But at nighttime, my cousin and I went to a Korean barbecue place called Barangay Seoul, one of those. After we waited outside for what felt like over an hour, we finally got in, grabbed our sides at the little buffet area, zoned out for a little bit, and then started grilling the meat. This was actually my first time at a Korean barbecue place. I know, shocking for me being the Korean boo that I am, but it was definitely a cool first experience. I also kept burning my leg on the little stove area under the table a few times, but aside from that, I still had a good time and ate a lot of good food and drank a lot of good drinks. Just kidding. Not a lot compared to past moments. I also kept burning my leg on the little stove area under the table a few times, but aside from that, the food was really good and I had a great time. The server actually brought me the wrong bill at first, and I was like silently freaking out. It wasn't that expensive, probably how much it would have been in America, but compared to how much everything else was, I knew that something wasn't right, but I hate confrontation. I literally was about to pay for it until she came back to the table and was like, oops, wrong one. Like, she gave me the one for the party sitting next to us, which had like 8 people. So I almost paid for 8 people's dinner. I guess my silent freak out wasn't silent enough facial feature wise because I saw her laughing and mocking my initial reaction with her coworkers. So yeah, that was that, and then we left. My cousin's boyfriend had a gig with his band, or ex-band now I should say, at a bar, so we headed there, accidentally taking a taxi, not realizing it was probably a 5-minute walk from the restaurant. Like, even the taxi driver was like, what? But yeah, we got there, ordered some drinks, and watched my cousin's boyfriend's former reggae band perform. that, the alcohol definitely made me grow a set of balls because I was like, I want to eat balut, which I would have never done in the past. And if you don't know what balut is, Google it. It's a fun time. I actually have a separate video on that, or will have one soon, so that you can see how that whole experience was, because it definitely was an experience. So yeah, I ended the night with something I thought that I would never do, but kind of glad that I did, because now I have a story to tell. The next day was my official full last day in the Philippines. We went to Ayala, forgot how that's pronounced, but we went there to meet up with my mom and other family members in the afternoon. I also finished buying some souvenirs because I always gotta bring back a barrel man for everyone, but can only find them in Cebu for some reason. And I also got one for myself this time, and I keep mine on my desk. We had bagels for lunch and then went to a place called Bread Talk, where we picked up some, you guessed it, bread for the Airbnb that we would be staying in that night. We grabbed my things from my cousin's condo and headed to the Airbnb, and then topped off the night with the biggest pizza I have ever seen in my life. We woke up bright and early the next morning because our flight was pretty early. We headed to the airport, said our goodbyes, which never gets any easier, checked in our baggage and all that great stuff that you have to do, did a little bit of waiting, and then finally boarded the plane. As the plane took off, I said goodbye to the country that I call home. Even if I wasn't born there, the Philippines is my home, and I will forever cherish the memories that I made during this trip. It always hurts my heart to leave, but I will be counting down the days until I can come back, and I can't wait until then to return home and to make more memories. And guys, this is officially the end of my Philippines trip. It feels so weird that I'm basically done, because I've been working on all of my Philippines videos for the past 4 or 5 months, and it's so sad to know that, you know, I'm not gonna be able to relive these memories on a daily basis anymore. Like, looking back and going through my whole trip just reminded me how blessed I am to come from such a beautiful country and to have the family that I have. Like, not everybody is so lucky to share the type of bond with their family that I do mine. I'm not a religious person, sorry mom, but I really thank God for blessing me with such a loving, supportive, and overall amazing family. And I'm gonna stop here because I feel like I'm about to cry. But seriously, another quick shout out to each and every member of my family. If you were there, if you weren't there, if I've met you, if I haven't met you, I wouldn't be where I am without any of you guys. Thank you for making my trip, my videos, my whole life really as great as they are. And I guess that's it. If anybody made it this far, thank you and I love you. I hope you guys enjoyed the whole process of me breaking down my trip to the Philippines. I'll link all the past videos down below if anyone wants to revisit. Why am I about to start crying? If anyone wants to revisit any memories with me, I hope you guys liked the video. Why am I about to start crying? And I'll see you guys soon. Bye!